Today I'm going to talk about the life and the theological works of Saint Albert the Great in my brand new video. Subscribe to this channel to see more updates and new content below. And my name is Ashley. And once again, you can check out my last year's video, The Angelic Doctor of the Church, Saint Thomas Aquinas, in the description box below and description link below. Once I have done in June 2023 with Saint Bonaventure's video as well. See you later. The saint and doctor of the church, who would be known as Albertus Magnus, was born sometime before the year 1200. He was probably born in Bavaria. A fact we infer because he referred to himself as Albert of Lauingen, a town which still stands today in southern Germany. We do not know for sure all the details of his family origins, but we know he was well educated. He attended the University of Padua, where he learned about Aristotle and his writings. The instruction in philosophy would become the foundation of his later work. Sometime around the year 1223 or so, Albert experienced an encounter with the Blessed Virgin Mary. This encounter moved him so much that he chose to become a member of the Dominican order. He thereafter studied theology. He excelled in his studies and later became a lecturer for the Dominicans at Cologne. He also traveled around the region to lecture, gaining regional, then international acclaim. At the same time he started lecturing, Albert produced Summa de Bono after collaboration with Philip the Chancellor, who was a renowned theologian from France. In 1245, Albert became a master of theology under Gueric of Saint Quentin. Under Gueric of Saint Quentin, he was the first German Dominican to achieve the title. He later went on to teach theology at the University of Paris and became the chair of theology at the College of St. James. One of his students was the famous Thomas Aquinas, who would also become a doctor of the church and a saint. Albert was very interested in Aristotle, and he made commentary on nearly all of Aristotle's works. He also studied the teachings of several Muslim scholars. At this time, the Islamic world led Europe in terms of scholarship, science, and medicine. In 1254, Albert became the provincial of the Dominican order. By all accounts, he was capable and efficient administrator. 5 years later, in 1259, Albert participated in the general chapter of the Dominicans, along with Thomas Aquinas and several other contemporary leaders of the order. They created a program of study for the Dominican order and developed a curriculum for philosophy. From this course of study would later arise the Pontifical University of Saint Thomas Aquinas in Rome. Today the university, which is known as the Angelicum, is one of the foremost theological colleges in the world. It is still run by the Dominican order. In 1260, Impressed with his acumen, Pope Alexander IV appointed Albert as Bishop of Regensburg. Although he was a bishop, Albert refused to ride a horse and went everywhere on foot. This seemingly unusual practice was consistent with the rules of his order. The life of a bishop The life of a bishop did not agree with Albert, and he resigned from his post in 1263. In 1263. In that same year, Pope Urban IV accepted his resignation and reassigned him to preach about the Eighth Crusade to German-speaking people. The crusade was intended to recapture the city of Tunis in North Africa for Christendom, and was a total failure in his later years. Albert became renowned as a meditator. In his later years, Albert became renowned as a meditator. He meditated disputes between individuals as well as resolving a dispute between the people of Cologne and a bishop. He also founded Germany's oldest university in that city. Before his death, he mourned the early passing of his great student, Thomas Aquinas, who would later be recognized as a saint and doctor of the Church. Aquinas died in 1274. Albert spent his last years defending the work of Aquinas, which is among the most important work in the Church. Albert became ill in 1278 and died on November 15, 1280, at only 80 years. At only 80 years. During his life, Albert wrote 38 volumes covering topics ranging from philosophy to geography, astronomy, law, friendship, and love. 3 years after his death, his grave was opened and his grave was opened. 3 years after his death, his grave was opened and his body found to be incorrupt. When his grave was again opened centuries later, in 1483, they only found his skeleton. His relics are presently found in the St. Andreas Church in Cologne. Albert was beatified in 1622 by Pope Gregory XV. He was canonized and recognized as a doctor of the Church on December 16, 1931, by Pope Pius XI. He is the patron saint of scientists. His feast day is on November 15th. I hope you everyone. I'll be seeing you in my brand new video. Bye.